Shalom, shalom, shalom. Brother Thawalai back again with another lesson, praying that it be edifying to the flock. Just want to touch on, one of the many topics that are happening, and the many prophecies that are going on in the world today. As always, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the bishops, men of great millstone. Peace and blessings to the house of David, the 144,000, the hopeful elect, the men, women, and children scattered throughout the four corners of the earth of the hopeful elect. To you I say, Shalom. So I just want to profile a quick video that I was watching. I'm not going to play all of it, but I'm going to play some of it, bring out some scriptures, and hopefully Yahweh Ratazah, you are edified. So, without any further ado, this is Jeffrey Sachs. Israel suffers heavy blow from Iran after Benjamin Netanyahu's irreversible mistake. So let's just pick it up and see what he has to say.
Dead as a result of Israel's incursion into Gaza. It's been a very bloody year. We don't know how many Palestinians have died from October 8, 2023 until today. But we know that it is an astounding number, 40,000 counted as dead, perhaps 200,000 actually dead as a result of Israel's incursion into Gaza.
So, like I said, just probably not going to watch the whole video. Just going to bring out a couple of scriptures to go along with what we're listening to. And we'll begin here in Ezekiel. And this is Ezekiel 35 and 6, and it reads, let's make sure we don't want to get any more meat off of that bone. We'll start at 4. Ezekiel 35 and 4, and it reads, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. And we know that hey, there's Israelites amongst those so-called Palestinians, but the point is, this man hasn't he's always had a bloodlust. It's run deep in him since when he was running behind us coming out of Egypt, cutting at the hindermost parts of the camp, going after the old, the women, the children. His MO has never changed. This is verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from him that passeth out, and him that returneth. So hey, this man has always had a heavy lust for blood. And now, hey, his own tongue, his own people are beginning to, man, bear witness to his evil.
Of course, on October 7, on this anniversary, 1,200 Israelis died, many at the hands of Hamas's terrorist action, and many by the counterattack by the Israeli defense forces, which bombed the Palestinian, the Hamas terrorists as they were taking Israeli hostages. So Israel killed, we know, a lot of its own people that day as well. But afterwards, Netanyahu carried out his long-time strategy. It's been his strategy for decades. His strategy is that with any provocation, whatever its cause, whatever the sources of injustice or unrest that have given rise to this, he will respond with massive force. This is a doctrine that he's laid out in books, in speeches, in testimony to the U.S. Congress. Always respond with massive, brutal force, murderous force.
And you heard what he just said. You know what I mean? It's you know, I have to get this scripture. You know, killing his own, and he doesn't mind doing that to achieve his goals. Anything and anyone that gets in his way is cannon fodder. You know, this is Ecclesiasticus 14:5, and it reads, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods." So, hey man, this devil is evil to himself. You know, we're gonna go back, and I'm gonna see if I can back that up just a little bit.
Massive force. This is a doctrine that he's laid out in books, in speeches, in testimony to the U.S. Congress. Always respond with massive, brutal force, murderous force to get the other side to back down. Whatever its cause, whatever the sources of injustice or unrest that have given rise to this, he will respond with massive force. This is a doctrine that he's laid out in books, in speeches, in testimony to the U.S. Congress. Always respond with massive, brutal force, murderous force to get the other side to back down. And Netanyahu's idea has been all along no need to compromise with anybody. Israel defends its own proposition. If it's going to keep all of the land of the occupied territories that it gained in the 67 war, which he believes should be done, it's going to do it not through negotiation, but essentially by military dominance and by mass killing if necessary.
You know, and that, man. You know, this is Ezekiel 36:2, and it reads, "Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Power, because the enemy has said against you, Aha, even the ancient places are ours in possession." And you heard what he said. They'll do anything to defend what they've stolen. You know, hey, we know. Hey, verse 3, "Therefore prophesy and say, Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai power. Thus saith Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai power, to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate waste, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey, a derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Thus saith, therefore, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my lands into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. Hey, this devil, man, hey, these scriptures, hey, they literally, jump off the page now. This is Psalms 55 and 21, and it reads, and we know, like the elder brothers always say, we don't have a dog in that fight right now, you know, but man, them Palestinians been living in an open air concentration camp. But the whole world seems to, well, not the whole world, just the whole Western world, they neglect when this beast, he throws stones and then hides his hands. And when somebody throws one back and bops him upside his fumelin, he's the victim. He's the perpetual victim, you know, from Germany on down. They never talk about what he did to get the ire of the Germans riled up, and go against them. What they were doing, what underhanded, deceitful, manipulative actions were they doing to these people? But that's a whole other topic, But this devil has always been the same, And it says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawing swords. So man, hey, like the Jeffrey says, this dude has been itching, and you'll hear him. You'll hear him. We're gonna keep going.
But especially by this mass deterrence that comes from crushing any foe that gets in Israel's way. There's just a problem with that, and that is that it leads to lots of deaths, but it actually doesn't solve any problem at all. Israel is less safe today by far than a year ago, despite 40,000 or 100,000 or 200,000 Palestinians dead, despite tens of thousands of women and children completely innocent in this, dead, murdered by the Israeli Defense Forces.
And this is how you still identify these people, man. Cowards, their track record, it just continues to repeat itself. It continues all through history to repeat itself. I'm gonna let him talk while I grab another scripture here.
The indiscriminate and utterly, or even discriminate, cruel bombing of apartment buildings, hospitals, clinics, schools. It's been horrendous. Now Netanyahu faces the reality that Israel is with many foes that are demanding a fundamental political change. We'll get to what that is, but they do not accept Israel's control over the occupied Palestinian lands, and so the fight.
And this is why the plight of this man in the end is so dramatical. You know what I mean? This is James 2 and 13, and it reads, "For he shall have judgment without mercy that hath showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment." This devil has never shown mercy. He said he kills indiscriminately men, women, and children. Women and children being his predominant targets. They're easy to go after.
Is not only with the Palestinians in the West Bank and in Gaza, but now with the Hezbollah in Lebanon. So there's a full war underway to Israel's north. And the backers of Hamas and Hezbollah have been many groups in the Middle East, but predominantly Iran, which says that Israel's domination over the Palestinians is unacceptable, and so that it supports its axis of resistance. And so Netanyahu, according to his doctrine, needs not only to crush the Palestinians, to crush Hamas, to crush Hezbollah, to crush the Houthi fighters in Yemen, also supported by outside forces, including Iran, but also to crush Iran. But again, there's one big problem. Israel can't do it. It doesn't have the means to do it. It's a lot of deaths, a lot of bombing, a lot of violence, a lot of destruction, a lot of assassinations, a lot of hate, but it is not crushing the other side. Now, I think Netanyahu knows this, and his plan all along, and this goes back decades. This doesn't go back to October 7, 2023. This goes back decades. Netanyahu's plan is to get the United States to do the crushing. Netanyahu already, more than 20 years, the crushing. Netanyahu already 7, 2023. This goes back decades. Netanyahu's plan is to get the United States to do the crushing. Netanyahu already decades. This doesn't go back to October 7, 2023. This goes back decades. Netanyahu's plan is to get the United States to do the crushing. Netanyahu already.
Hey. This is Jeremiah 50 in verse 45, and it reads, "Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes, that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them." Hey, and this is why, both Mystery Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, modern day Babylon, and this modern day Israeli is going to be, decimated. This place is going to be, completely wiped off. It's going to be a desert. But our homeland, hey, it's good. It had since this devil has not hated blood. And what does the scriptures say? You know, and let's get that real quick. Because this is why that land is going to need to be destroyed and then brought back, restored. And this land here, it's so violated that it can only be, just destroyed, man. Destroyed because of the wickedness, because of the blood, because of the abominations that were done here. We don't we don't really know the half of everything that was done for them to gain supremacy over this land as they have. It says Numbers 35 and 33, and it reads, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." So this is why Israel is going to have to be consumed in fire as well. That land has to be cleansed, man. And we know that fire is the ultimate cleansing agent. So, that's all I'm going to play on that. You know what I mean? Just wanted to touch on a couple of things. Hey, hey, times are wrapping up. You know what I mean? We know that this war is not going to break full until the rest of the prophecies are made manifest, and we're watching them. You know what I mean? As we speak, we're watching this MOTB be implemented, and we're gonna, hey, we know that, in a moment, hey, things are gonna happen that are going to shut down and change everything in a moment. You go to sleep, wake up, and everything is different. And what is it that you're required, Israelite man? You know, what is the elect going to be doing? What are the hopeful elect following after? This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. It says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter." You know, fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So, with that, I pray that you were edified. I pray that you gain some enlightenment from this. Pray that you are preparing yourself. And I pray that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai watches over you if you are of his elect. So with that, I want to say, all praises to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Raha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, to the bishops, the men of great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the house of David. the 144,000 of men, women, and children scattered throughout the four corners of the earth of the hopeful elect, to you I say, Shalom.